Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stood at the doorway and knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk, but I'm caught.
Hey Internet, Dracofunk here, and this is my 60 subscriber special North Pole expedition where I'm driving a Rover to the North Pole. And I was just kidding. No, I really wasn't. So, what I was going to say was, if we make it to 90 subscribers, I will drive the next leg of the expedition in first person again. Although the last time it didn't turn out bad. The first time was very rough, but we are actually now closer to 90 subscribers than I thought. And anyway, let's see where we are. Last time we passed Point Golf and are headed to Point Hotel. Now, I need to travel east just for a little bit because there's this rocky section up here. I know it doesn't look too bad from this view, but up close it would be treacherous. And my plan was to travel through this little valley, and instead of doing that, I am actually like up on the hill. So yeah. So this is my Rover train I've been driving. So we're going to travel east just a little bit, and I'm going to try and get down in the valley. My ultimate goal today is to try and get about halfway to Point Hotel. I know I can't make it all the way to Point Hotel without going way over time, and I've decided that after the incident, and what I'm calling the incident is the 70 subscriber episode where I drove all the way in first person, and it turned out kind of bad because I missed a turn. And if you're asking how could I miss a turn, well, there was a point where I needed to go around a mountain instead of heading directly to the next base that I was using as a waypoint. And I went too far west, and I missed the easy way to go between like these two mountains, and I came to the shore, and there was no easy way to go, and I probably would have wrecked if I tried. So I had to backtrack, and it ended up adding about 45-50 minutes, which I'm trying to keep these to an hour now, and it added that much time. So, that wasn't quite so good. Hey, I want to give a shout out to our Patreon, Scrodrick. If you'd like to join our Patreons along with Scrodrick, there is a link in the description. Oh, what else is going on? Oh, if you are watching tonight. Tonight I'm releasing part 2 of me playing Star Trek The Next Generation, the NES game from 1993. You want to see how that goes. If I can manage to not get my ship destroyed by the Talarians today. And hey, check out Strodrick playing Cosmo Tier. And then if you want to go back and look in our things, if you're more of the Pokemon type, check out Vomit's doing the Nuzlocke thing. Have you ever done the Nuzlocke thing? I've never done the Nuzlocke thing. I watched Vomit do the Nuzlocke thing. And then another game that I played a whole bunch, Shaggy B recorded, Beyond All Reason. And it's not just me. I have an 8-year-old, and that's one of his favorite games now. Okay, let's see where I am. I don't think I'm quite where I wanted to be. I don't know anymore. I'm just going to keep going. I did stop between the last couple episodes and recharge my batteries a little bit, but not completely. I feel like that's the valley over there. I've now gone too far and I'm on the wrong side. Oh well. Honestly, it's not too bad. I'm just gonna try and take these hills head on. And there isn't a lot in this region of Kerbal. Getting a little air. I feel like I see things on the horizon, but I can't tell. Well, as of the recording of this, let's see, what time is it? It is about 4 hours and 20 minutes till the splashdown of Artemis 1. So by the time this comes out, we'll already know how that fared. So either congratulations or not. Honestly, if it doesn't go well, I don't know what that will mean. If it doesn't go well, that'll what that means is something very bad. So, best wishes to the Artemis program, even though by the time this comes out, the fate will already be known. Let's see, I don't think there is any specific SpaceX news. Starship's ramping up for its 33 engine static fire, which I think it's possible that could happen Monday. I haven't really been paying that much attention. I know they had rolled Booster 7 back into the Mega Bay. I don't know if it's been rolled back to the launch site yet. I know Elon has been saying that he wants to launch before the end of the year. And NASA says they have to do the 33 engine static fire first. And last I saw, the booster was not even on the launch pad. And there are two things left that they are required to do before a launch attempt, and that is the 33 engine static fire and the wet dress rehearsal. And it just seems so much to do to then obtain a launch permit and launch all before the end of the year. Okay, so I'm going to this tree for no good reason, only because I could see it on the horizon way back. So I feel like this tree is some sort of like marker. So I'm going to go to this tree and head around. Also because, you know what, I gotta have some sort of like image for the slide, and there isn't a lot around here, so you know, the tree, I'm just gotta get a picture with the tree. Yep, well, there's the tree. And from here, for no good reason, I'm going to start heading directly to Point Hotel. And I'm going to put on the speed, and I want to keep it around between 28 and 32 meters per second ground speed, and see how far we can get today. So the other things we do are movies and TV show commentaries. Coming out this week will be Season 3, Episode 9 of the Orville. You can hear me, Shaggy B, and Scrodrick's reactions to that episode. We only have one more episode of the Orville after that, And then there aren't any more unless they make a season 4, which I really, really hope they make season 4. Movie-wise, this Friday we watched The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I believe that is me, Shaggy B, and Vomit. I don't think Scrodrick was there for that episode. Right. So, net-wise, Point Hotel should be getting pretty close to sea level. I don't remember what the actual altitude was. And then once I get there, I have to get down onto the ice without flipping my Rover. What else do I have going on? Oh, what else can I say? Hey guys, it's the holidays. We just recorded our Christmas episode, or Christmas special movie that will come out 2 days before Christmas. If you celebrate that. Maybe you celebrate Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah for those. I'm sorry, I have not looked up the Hanukkah dates. If you celebrate Kwanzaa, that's coming up. But either way, whatever you celebrate. If you don't celebrate anything, hey, if you celebrate Festivus, that's also almost amongst us. Get ready for your feats of strength and your airing of grievances. But whatever you celebrate, even if you celebrate nothing, just happy holidays and happy season, and Jingle Bells, even though that song really isn't about Christmas, but people associate it with Christmas for some reason, even though it was written more for around Thanksgiving, which they say the reason of celebrating Christmas is for Jesus and all that, even though his birthday probably wasn't around then. They just kind of grouped it together with all the holiday festivities based on harvest and the equinox, and stuff like that. But whatever you do, just be nice to people. Don't be mean. I'm really, really tired of people being mean. If people would just take a second and be nice to somebody instead of being upset, we would all have a better time. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. People do things that are frustrating, and it's just not worth it, getting mad at somebody. And I'm guilty of it too. I'm not going to say that I've never been upset with somebody. Trust me, people upset me all the time. but sometimes people create conflict, and they don't need to. But I'm playing Kerbal Space Program, and I am looking forward to Kerbal Space Program 2 coming out in about 2.5 months. And I will be getting the Kerbal Space Program 2, and I'll probably record some videos on this channel. And you know, the whole Highway 47 team might get in on it. I don't know. Although what I really want from Christmas is a new computer, because the computer I've used that I'm recording on right now isn't quite as up to the task as I would like it to be. And I think it may be a little bit more tax for Kerbal Space Program 2. And if I'm not able to get a new computer, I did build a very pretty beefy desktop. It's still a couple years old, but at the time I built it, it was really good, and it can probably handle Kerbal Space Program 2 better than this computer. However, that is the computer my wife mostly uses when she plays. So, if I wanted to record out there, I could, but I'd have to make sure it was a time when she was not going to use the computer. Also, it would have to be a time because it's in our main room of our house, when there would not be other things going on and around. And I do mostly do my recordings for these earlier in the morning. But I can record these there's a room in our house that's dedicated to being my office, and that's kind of where I can do all the recording. I do have another location that I could go to record. I don't know if it would be better during the day. It's mostly, I do other types of recording there, but mostly on weekends or in the evening. As there are sometimes other things happening in that location that also make lots of noise. So I always, unless there's a good reason to do so, I try not to check my progress until the 45-minute mark of the videos. And, around the 45-minute mark. I'm not, always right on it. Mainly because I usually forget to set a timer. I did set a timer this time. I think it's about, but not right at the beginning, because I just forgot. That's what I did. I forgot. Because I start the recording, and then I'm like, okay, is there anything else I have to do? What do I have to do during this episode? Oh yeah, the timer that I didn't start. So if this episode is like 1 hour and 30 seconds long, it's because I forgot to start the timer. Actually, I'm not like 100% great about like keeping everything exactly 1 hour. And you know what? If it goes 1 minute over or under, it's not a big deal. So I think I'm hoping I can make really good time. And my ultimate goal for this episode is to make it at least halfway to Point Hotel. Yeah, I'd be overjoyed if I made it even more than halfway. I don't think I can, but that would be so awesome if I could make it just a little bit further. Because what I'd really, really, really like to do is, on Wednesday's episode, make it to Point Hotel. Wow, it's really like quite barren up here. We are actually decently pretty far north at this point. Ooh, got my speed up a little bit too much. Keeping an eye on my battery power. So it's hard to, because this rover pulls to the right, it's hard to keep it exactly heading towards target. And what I have targeted is Point Hotel, which is a little base I had parachute down from an aircraft. If you want to see how I did that, there's a video called Dropping Bases from an Aircraft. There's 2 of them, in fact, because I did it twice. The second one is where I dropped the northern 4 bases, which there's only one more left to get to, and that is the one I'm going to. After Point Hotel, I will be driving on to the ice sheet, and once I'm on the ice sheet, it's a straight shot, and it probably won't be a straight shot because this rover pulls to the right, to the North Pole base, and we will have reached our goal, assuming I can make it these last couple episodes. without any mishap. So if you look on all the slides, it says part of Dracofunk's reusable space program. And I haven't actually been able to put out a video on the reusable space program because I've been doing this whole challenge. I thought my naive brain at the time thought I could make this whole journey in 9 episodes. And I was wrong. Yeah, I was wrong. I think, what episode is, oh god, this is episode 13, isn't it? Well, now that I realize that halfway through, I'm a little bit paranoid. Unless I'm wrong and this is episode 14. I don't remember. Hey, if you want to know which episode this is, look at the title card for this episode, or read the title on YouTube, because by the time I upload it to YouTube, I'm pretty sure I'll know which episode it actually is. Let my speed drop a little bit. This is kind of flat. I can make up a little bit of time. And I lost my train of thought. Speaking of trains, Rover is built like a train, but except the rail part, as in it has a locomotive, and there are separate cars that have different functions. This section carries some extra batteries, some photovoltaic cells, and in that cargo section are repair kits, in case something happens. I have not had to get into the repair kits. I thought I would at least have flat tires. And I'm just going to keep knocking on wood that I don't actually need them. So each of these cars are connected through these docking ports. And the way I did that was I basically designed this bottom section. And then all the other stuff I just kind of put on top of that, even the Rover. And some people have asked me, where is this? I don't see this. Get the landing cam when you're building your ship in the spaceplane hangar, or you do it in the VAB too. And at the bottom there is one of the menus where you can switch it, and I don't remember what it is called off the top of my head right at this time. But this is just a lander cam, and you can change it to this version, which is great for building rovers. Although I feel like I could build a very interesting spaceship based on this version of the landing cam. Okay. Whoa, I'm leaning a lot. Leaning a lot. And purposefully slowing down a little bit here. And And the problem being is what I'd really like to do is turn left to go up the hill, but I'm leaning down to the right, which a left turn would not be ideal in this situation. Okay. This is a little bit better. All right. Okay. Now I am all right. That was a little bit harrowing, but we are through that and headed back towards Point Hotel. If you look off to the left, you can see those kind of mountains. That was the rocky section I was trying to avoid, just because traveling through there would probably not be good. If you want to see me torture myself and do this almost twice as long, I did set a 100 subscriber challenge, and that was to drive to the South Pole. Drive this Rover to the South Pole. However, it will not be the Highway 47 crew driving the Rover, as they, shortly after they reach the North Pole, if they reach the North Pole, will be needed elsewhere. Wow, I've really got my speed up a little bit higher than I meant to. I am using quite a bit of battery. We were at 8,000 when I started, and we are now down below. We're at 4,500 units of electricity. I'm just going to coast up the top of this hill. I'll give a little bit of... I don't want to go too slow. I'm going to overturn towards target just for a second. We're getting close. We got about 6 more minutes before the 45-minute mark, and I can actually see how bad I'm doing. Anyway, subscriber challenge, 100 subscriber challenge. If we make it to 100 subscribers by the end of 2022, I will drive this Rover all the way from the North Pole to the South Pole. It probably will not be in a dedicated separate series. It will be kind of something that's happening along with the rest of the reusable space program. Just because I'd like to get back into all that happenings. You know, the space part of Kerbal Space Program, and this has been a lot of not going to space. Ooh, that was a little bit sharp of a turn. Still trying to keep my speed up. I'm not leaning as bad as it looks. Let's see. I think going a little bit fast. Slow down here so I can crest this hill under 30 meters per second. There we go. I do want to take a look out there and make sure I'm not going to I think we're good. I'm slightly concerned. There is one small section of mountainous terrain that looks like it extends a little bit further east. Hopefully that won't be an issue. You know what? I haven't done this. I do have there is a passenger section of our Patreon. If you would like to be a passenger in part of the reusable space program, there is a $3 tier, and you will get a custom Kerbal with your YouTube or Patreon username that can be a passenger. If you would like to be a passenger on the North Pole expedition, I need to have you need to be there before I reach Point Hotel, because that is the last chance I have to pick up passengers. I mean, and if you don't make that mark, you can still be a passenger as part of the reusable space program. I don't know, I can't guarantee which destination you'll be going to. It could be flying in an SSTO up to Enterprise Station, and from there you would probably find yourself staying at the Mun base for now. There will be, and this is a spoiler, a Minmus surface base that will be being launched soon. And we also have room to stay on, we currently have 3 space stations, one in orbit of Kerbal, one in orbit of the Mun, and one in orbit of Minmus that also has room for several passengers. But hey, I will go ahead and pick up a passenger for the first person who leaves a comment on this video. If you listen to all the way 45 minutes through this, hey, we're also 45 minutes in. Let's see how bad I'm doing. But yeah, first commenter there, you can have a Kerbal be a passenger on the very last leg of this journey. As long as your name is there before, it's going to have to be before Tuesday morning when I record the next leg of this journey. Okay, that's not that bad. We're almost at the halfway point. Okay, I'm going to call that I have already achieved my goal of making it at least halfway to Point Hotel. So that's actually good news. Now the goal is to just get as close to Point Hotel as I can, so that in the next episode I can end at Point Hotel. Got a little bit of air there. Okay. So I'm feeling pretty good about this now. I need to make sure though, and I have about 12 minutes left just to get as far past the halfway point as possible. Because I really, really, really want to get to Point Hotel by the end of the next episode. And if that episode, if I'm really close, even at the end of the hour, I may go ahead and just push on through. So the next episode may be hopefully only slightly over an hour. Unless I make good time. I don't know. I'm doing that thing where I'm starting to lean. There, that's not leaning too bad. As I'm doing that turn, like I'm letting my speed go down. I'm so tempted just to like push down on the W key and hold it there and put on a lot of speed, even though I know that's a bad idea. don't know that I've tested this craft to destruction. I usually do. I have a separate save where I test my ships and rovers to make sure they'll work. I don't think I tested this one to destruction. Or at least not like speed-wise. Oh, where am I? Less than 9 minutes. I'm not yet going to check out. I'm not going to look at the map until we're coming up on the last couple minutes. Now, there's really no reason to, other than I just want to keep seeing how far I'm going and measuring my progress, and I don't need to do that, because it's not going to change anything if I know or don't know. It's just me fulfilling my curiosity. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just not necessary. It's just not necessary. Because all I really have to do is keep driving towards this little pink dot in my Navball. Which I can do from inside the cockpit now. Thanks to YouTube user Doroki and a bunch of numbers. Actually, that might not be true. A bunch of numbers. I'm so sorry. I can't remember names. Like, I can't remember people's names either. I'm really. It's not that I can't. I'm really bad at it. Like, I was in a restaurant once, and some guy walked in and said, "Hey, Dracofunk, how have you been?" I'm like, "Great. Things are doing good. I'm doing things. Are you doing things?" And we had like this whole conversation, and afterwards he left, and I have no idea who this guy was. I'm sure I've seen him somewhere. Sometimes because of the things I do, a lot of people see me and know me. And so I'm sure this guy introduced himself to me at some point in time, and I don't remember who he was. And it's just the nature of what I do. Is I meet so many people. I can't remember everybody as much as I would really, really, really like to remember everybody. I just can't. I mean, even so, yeah, I can't even say that because I don't like dox who I am, because I know I have been. There was a national news story, and I opened it up, and there is a picture, and I am in that picture. And if I talk too much more about it, you totally be able to probably look up and see a picture of me. My name wasn't mentioned in the story, so that's okay. But that did happen. And I can't really talk much more about it because it'd be too easy. All right. I am now on the search for a place to stop. I feel like I'm going to go into what looks like a lazy crater, and I call it a lazy crater because it's not like a steep crater side. Where am I now? Okay, I'm still heading towards Target. Oh wow, have been using a lot of electricity. I'm down under 2,000 units, but that's okay now. I'm not. The goal of this episode was to drive for an hour. I didn't run out of electricity during that time. And each of these cars has two RTGs that help recharge the batteries, and you can see that the batteries are constantly recharging if I just coast. If I'm trying to accelerate a little bit, or even just keeping my speed up, sometimes I can use more electricity than I generate, which is the very first episode that became a problem, as I wasn't paying attention at all, and I ran the batteries all the way down and had to kind of stop and do recharge. Because of this, I added the extra battery car that I've basically been carrying around since then. And although I've gotten very close a few times, I have not completely run out of battery, unless I did and I forgot about it. So we're coming up. I do want to get to the top of this hill. We're coming up on where I want to stop. And actually, I should get out of first person. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and hit the brakes, and that'll bring us to a stop. Let's look where we are. It's pretty much it's pretty much the halfway point. I'll admit it's just under halfway, but you know, it's good progress, because in the reality of things, we started there and are now here. So way down there. Well, there. There's the Kerbal Space Center. And we have there's Point Able, Baker, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf. Here we are. Hotel. And our ultimate end goal, the North Pole Base. Hey, thanks guys for watching. This has been my 60 subscriber special North Pole expedition. And the sun appears to be setting. Should I drive through the night or wait till morning? Leave a message in the comments, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, make me do it all in first person. Good night, everybody.